Welcome to another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast, where if the shoe fits, you wear it.
And if the truth hurts, you bear it.
I am Justin Gruber.
And I am Jesse Gruber.
And today we hope you will seize the faith. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast. How you doing, Jesse? You doing okay?
We are tired tonight.
Yeah.
We are tired tonight, but we are present here separately.
Together. There's two of us. And this is episode 210 of the Carpe Fide podcast. We are full on in the Advent season. Hope you guys are enjoying your time together at Christmas with all of your loved ones. Because you're sure ordering a lot of boxes. I can just tell you that. These are all ordering boxes. So many boxes. But that's neither here nor there. We have a fun episode talking about some of the things that we absolutely love to point out in the larger culture. You know, things like how Canada is doomed and, you know, how you need to have kids and liberals don't. So we're going to out-childbear the libs. This is a great episode to talk about that because it's real. It's a very real thing. And it turns out pot's not great. So just like generally speaking, I'm not saying there aren't maybe specific instances where a pot could be helpful. Generally speaking, though, it does seem that there could be some deleterious effects downstream, so to speak.
Yes. I think a focus topic probably should be the recreational use of marijuana. Just so that we don't get too far into the weeds.
Oh, Jesse. Oh, it's so good.
Yes. But yeah, you recommended I listen to Albert Mohler today and on the 11th. So if you guys aren't listening to Albert Mohler every day, it's a very, very good daily podcast.
Yeah, it just gives you cultural news
briefing?
items to think through as from a Christian worldview.
A briefing, so to speak.
Yeah, you could call it a briefing. Yeah, it's a briefing.
Albert Mohler, if you're listening to this, we plugged you. He's not. That's okay.
Albert Mohler, are you listening? No, he's not. Sorry, stop. Well, it was nice. It was a nice thought, though.
If you're interested in Boyce College, go to boycecollege.com.
Or what's the seminary? Southern Baptist Theology.
SBTS.edu.
Oh, gosh.
Which may not be a place that you want to send your kids, but that's also a topic for a different episode.
Yeah, that's not this episode. Why don't we start by discussing let's just get the pot in the room. I mean, the pot out of the room. I mean, let's just deal with the pot, calling the kettle black. One of the earliest adopters of recreational marijuana and legalization of marijuana, as far as the states go, was the state of Massachusetts. And the state of Massachusetts, I believe, was 2016. 16? Oof. Jeez, it's been a long time.
Almost 2016. Almost 10 years, yeah.
That's crazy.
We're old.
Gosh, so old. I remember before you could get pot everywhere you wanted. Oh.
There's a dispensary in every church nowadays.
I remember when you could smoke on airplanes. I remember when you could smoke indoors. That's how old I am. Oh, man. Anyway, neither here nor there. But they really adopted the recreational side of cannabis, the legalization of cannabis, pretty early on. So they kind of have a little more. They have a little more sustained data, which is just now, coming up with 10 years, turning into some interesting observations, basically, that are being made. Specifically, two studies came out. One study was, and both studies have a problem. There's just a problem. generally in the legalization for recreational use, um, in the sale and consumption of recreational marijuana, and it particularly hits the youngest of us, the younger generations, as Massachusetts accepted recreational cannabis use, so recreational marijuana use. Basically, what they found is that teenagers were showing up with a lot more psychiatric related medical instances in hospitals. So ERs tended to have a large increase of teens, young people, with anything ranging from anxiety to suicidal thoughts. So it was pretty bad, and by bad I mean we're talking a jump in 300% jump. Like it's a huge multiple of issues when you consider it's pretty obvious what has caused it. So it's enough that like the New York Times is like, ooh, maybe this is a problem, right? Like maybe we should consider maybe as editors we should point out that there's people considering whether or not this was a good idea, because we just accept it now, I think, just as part of life, which is kind of it's kind of wild. But we just accept that pot's going to be used all around us in myriads of ways. We're going to interact with the smell and effects of marijuana on any given day, and it turns out that particularly in young people, it's leading to significant increase in psychiatric needs, psychiatric issues, and it's bad. I mean, Massachusetts is generally speaking a pretty liberal place, and now having to have a conversation of like, well, should we do this? I mean, and the super ironic part of this is they've been trying to pass this idea of having retail's like pot smoking plate locations, so not just like dispensaries where you can buy your marijuana, but also just like basically think of it like I don't know, like marijuana lounges. And they just like passed that, and at the same time, because it was in the works for so long, they just passed that. Now they're like, wait, you're telling me that 300% more kids are showing up with psychiatric issues tied to their use of cannabis? Wait, but we just passed this law. We just passed this referendum that they can now have marijuana hangouts in retail locations. It's like we didn't consider the ramifications of what we were doing. And to be honest, like I fully didn't see this like as an issue either. Like this is my level of ignorance since I don't really smoke pot. I didn't consider this an issue either. I mostly saw this as just something the government wanted to regulate and tax, because the government wants to seemingly regulate and tax everything. But like maybe it was a good idea that it was like an illegal thing to do. Maybe we should have kept held a little tighter to that. I don't know, Jess. What do you think?
Well, I mean, as an ER worker, it definitely is in pretty much every drug screen that we do when it comes to psychiatric patients. Doesn't really matter the age. Well, I mean, obviously like little tiny kids. Although with little tiny kids, they're getting to their parents' gummies, and then they have to bring them to the ER to be monitored for ingestion of that. There's also the hyperemesis aspect of it that Al Muller touched on as well. Kind of like as a little bit of a secondary thing, this thing where you just cannot stop throwing up. You would think it would stop people from doing it. It doesn't. They're like, this happened last time. It's like, well, yeah, of course it did. You can't do that and not have the throw ups. So, yeah, I mean, I think I think America is just in this huge trial and error period where we're just like, oh, let's legalize this. Oh, let's legalize that. The problem is that there's very rarely like an actual limiting factor to that decision making.
Correct.
They're like, oh, it's new. There's not a ton of data on it. Sure, let's legalize it. and then make the citizens our guinea pigs for a little while, and then see what happens. Like
Yeah,
COVID
it's
vaccine.
kind of like the COVID vaccine. So it's kind of like that. We're just going to do it, and then we'll find out later if it's a problem. The study that studied it compared ER visits before recreational dispensaries opened, and then after recreational marijuana was being sold. So they took the year prior, and then they took the year once it was being sold recreationally, and they compared them. And what they found was teenagers that came in with psychiatric issues jumped from only 5% of them having cannabis detected to nearly 20% of them having cannabis detected. And one of the things that we could say is like, oh, this maybe it's just an ancillary. It's anecdotal. It's not inherently connected, except that there's been an increase in the diagnosis of marijuana-related psychosis. Like it's like a whole thing where it's like kind of a problem. You're talking psychotic experiences, depression, anxiety, and suicidality. Like these are some pretty big issues, and it really goes back to, and I think Doug Wilson has always done a good job on the topic of marijuana. It really has always made me think a little harder about it, because I'm not saying like I'm one to do everything, but I'm definitely one to say like I always want to consider what God has given and the opportunities that can be present in it to be as part of creation and enjoyed first, as opposed to like someone who wants to just shut everything out and like cloister. And so I'm like, well, is marijuana that bad? And then it's like, yeah, no, marijuana is bad. Like it's not. It's very bad.
Yeah, it's kind of that bad. Now I wonder if the incidence of psychiatric related complaints increased, or if it was just the presence of marijuana in those patients. I don't know.
So there was two studies, and this study focused on the increase in marijuana present in people in young people that had psychiatric reporting at ERs that came in with psychiatric related concerns.
Right.
Wait, did I not answer your question?
No, I mean, I knew that, but I was curious if it actually increased the incidence of
yes, I understand.
Of psychiatric issues.
Yes, this particular study seems to indicate that it was an increase in marijuana usage. It doesn't actually tell you whether or not there was an increase.
Right.
So I have to look for the other study.
Is that what the other study was about?
That's what I was going to check.
Yeah, because, I mean, it makes sense that if you're anxious or suicidal or depressed that you would try to use marijuana as an attempt to...
Which only heightens your connection to being paranoid.
I'm kind of flabbergasted this study wasn't pulled up already. That's crazy.
You're mad at me? Are you coming at me right now?
I'm not mad at anybody. I'm in a flow state. I had my joint about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, your joint.
I'm in a nice flow state.
You got to share your joint. So there was a ballot measure for a referendum in next November to reverse the state's legalization experiment. And there was it received 74,000 signatures. And that's kind of where these studies are coming into this. They're coming into this cultural moment where people are like, I don't know if this has been good. I don't know if this was a good idea. And just leave it to Massachusetts to figure that out.
Well, I mean, somebody's got to, I mean, I think it's good that they're even asking the question. Honestly, I'm shocked that reversing that is even a possibility.
All right. So JAMA. We jamming? That's the Journal of the American Medical Association. Found a surge in young adults nationwide, showing up at the hospital emergency rooms with cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome.
Yeah, hyperemesis.
Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome.
Hyperemesis, yes, that would be much vomiting.
Ooh.
Many vomits.
Many vomits.
It is difficult
that is
to
caused,
stop.
That is related specifically to heavy marijuana use.
Yes, you got to just ride it out. It's not really something that's treatable, unfortunately.
This is just your body processing what you've decided to put into
right.
it.
Yep.
So
Hydrate. That's the name of the game.
In the spring of 2020, as COVID lockdown took effect, ER visits for that disorder increased 80-fold. Jeez.
Well, when you're not using it, and then you are using it, that's what happens. I forget one night I was in triage and I had a nurse that worked at the hospital. I didn't know who she was. It's bajillions of people that I don't know who they are. But she was freaking out, dude. Like she was just wigging out. She was talking a mile a minute. She was like she was having a bad reaction to that. That was like, yikes. Maybe a nap would have done you some good. Maybe some water. Read a book.
Get outside and touch grass. Stop smoking it.
Yes, touch. That's a good t-shirt. Touch grass, don't smoke it.
I always love. It's like as soon as something is being commercialized, there is big whatever, right? Big pharma, big Eva, big pot, right?
Big
from
Lana.
from popculturemagazine.com. Massachusetts health officials report a surge in pediatric cannabis ER visits, but the real culprit is the unregulated hemp gray market. The gray market, because it's not black or white.
It's more like a green market.
Now Big Pot's pissed because there's too many people that aren't conforming to Big Pot's standards, and they're cutting in on their business.
Yeah, they sure are.
Oh my gosh!
And we would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you pesky kids.
It weren't for you pesky kids who can't figure out how to use anything correctly, including Tide Pods. Jeez. Like I don't know. This is like super. It's more just honestly like I don't even know that how interesting this is maybe for you as a listener, but with a Christian perspective, the thing that smacks me in the face here is that what Jesse was saying earlier is the problem. Not everything needs to be tried,
like heroin or
like,
AIDS.
Yeah. Right, like not everything needs to be tried. Some things we can just say that's bad. Like that's not good. Don't do that. Like that's all right. Like that's okay. And then we can take something like marijuana and put it in its proper perspective as a substance that may have benefits in certain applications and should be used only in those applications, right? Like that's what we can do. And we can do that.
Sure. I mean, like there are oils and extracts and things like that work wonders for people with Parkinsonian disorders and neurological disorders. Like it's pretty crazy what the proper preparation of this is. But obviously the world was not ready for this widespread use. I mean, it happens with everything, right? Like there's always an abuse of something when you have the liberty to do something. Like that's just the way that our hearts work, But I mean, in terms of legalizing this type of substance, I just think it's kind of wild. I mean, you like nobody could foresee that kids would get this. Like seriously, like we really didn't think that would happen.
No, of course everybody knew that's exactly what would happen. I don't think that's the problem. Like it's not surprising to anybody. Anybody that says they're surprised by this is an idiot. It's a fool. You are a fool.
Yeah. Doug Wilson's book, by the way, is called "Devoured by Cannabis: Weed, Liberty, and Legalization." It's a small book, but it's actually fairly thorough, and I think it handles the topic pretty well.
Yeah, and you can actually search marijuana on Blog and Maybog, dogbills.com, sorry. And you will find many articles that he has written over the years that also carry forward his arguments in a social context. And they're well thought out and clear and obvious and biblical. It's a very clear reality that when we read in Ephesians that we're to be controlled by the Spirit, right, and not by wine, which is to say, like, we shouldn't let anything control us but the Spirit. And if something else is controlling us, then the Spirit is being repressed, right, by our sinful actions. And that's the problem when you look at something like marijuana or any particular drug that can dull us to the world God has created us to live in. And that's why we have to be careful, making sure that when we're utilizing medications, that we're utilizing them correctly, so that we can always be controlled by the Spirit, so that we can always be glorifying and honoring God. As opposed to finding escapism in some sort of substance.
Right. Sorry, I mean, it's the same as alcohol, right? If you use alcohol as an escape and as a dulling of the world, you're using it improperly. You're actually using it contrary to how God would have you use it. The issue with smoking marijuana would be that the dulling is immediate and lingers much longer. So with alcohol, there's a buildup, right? And there's a threshold. But there really isn't a threshold with marijuana in the same way that there is with alcohol, or even something like nicotine, like cigars or something like that. There's not that buildup. It's just hits you, and then you cannot get rid of it for quite some time. It lingers in the body for a while.
Which is why it can build up when used too much into a place where you have to go to the ER because you have CES or whatever I said earlier. It's too long to say again. So many words.
It's what is it, like marijuana hyperemesis syndrome or whatever they call it?
Something like that, yeah. Cannabis hyperemesis.
Cannabis.
CES, watch out for that.
My name is Maximus Decimus Aurelius.
Oh my gosh. Husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Oh man, such a good movie. We should do like a live watch of that.
Oh my gosh. That people would actually tune into that because he doesn't want to watch that movie again and again and again. Wow.
Second one, not as good. Nowhere near as good.
Speaking of another thing that's really good that God made to be good and then some people call bad, having kids.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going.
You didn't know where I was going.
I thought you were going to the LGBTQ topic, and I'm like,
no, bro. I was segueing.
Every exit is an entrance for something else. I'm like, no.
That was it.
God gave me a butthole. Why can't I use it? No.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, into that. It wouldn't have been a good segue into the other thing.
So here's just a super interesting statistic. In states where Trump won the popular vote, the aggregate child population increased by 7.3% since 2000. The opposite was true in states where Harris won the popular vote. The child population decreased by 7.1%.
That doesn't make sense. Harris didn't run in 2000.
No, they took the state, so they took this most recent election and they went back to the year 2000, so the past quarter century, right? They had that much data.
Quarter of a century. That's crazy. My mind is just blown with math right now.
My mind is blown. So what they did is, in this past election, in states that Trump won, they went back to 2000. And then in states where Harris won, they went back to 2000.
Oh, okay.
In the states where Trump won, the aggregate child population increased by 7.3%. Whereas in Harris states, the aggregate child population decreased by 7.1%. So it's almost a complete pendulum swing on opposite directions by the percentages. And that has sparked some consternation on the side of USA Today article is entitled "Liberals Aren't Having Kids," right? And conservatives are. So, like, yes, and that's a problem, and they need to address that. Actually, that's not the article I wanted. It doesn't matter. It's all the same idea. The article was in USA Today, and the article specifically was liberals aren't having kids, but they need to have kids. Liberals may not want them, but they need to have kids, which is true. They need to have kids, but they don't want to have kids.
They
and
also
the problem
want kids.
Right. We don't want
Okay,
kids, but we need to have kids. The reason they need to have kids is because the realization is when you don't have kids, you die. Then all of your everything dies with you because you have left no legacy whatsoever. Like that's it. That's the fact. That's what happens when you die without kids. And it is sad. It is very sad. But I hate the word liberal. It should be progressives because progressives is the correct word. Progressives don't want kids. So when they die, all their progressive dies with them. Not, just to be clear, I didn't say all their progress dies with them. They have made no progress. They have just devolved back into base cardinal sin. But their progressivism dies with them. But the problem is when you're a parent lovingly taking care of your children and you're instilling in them values that stem from the biblical worldview, that tends to be a foundation that is lasting. And it turns out those kids will be steeped in that. So, yeah, liberals need to have kids. That was the basic premise of that. We're not having kids. Oh no, we're not having kids. You don't want them. Those disgusting, stinking, gross kids. But you just have to suck it up and just take one for the team. Everybody, get in there and have some kids. Progressives. What kind of article? What kind of nonsense?
There have been some really funny articles that the left media has been putting out recently. Like there was the Atlantic one talking about child deaths from the COVID vaccine. Like I guess that's okay to talk about now.
Yeah,
that was crazy. And then
now that it's obviously a problem, like they put the information out. We probably should talk about it now.
It's kind of like marijuana, you know. It's like it's just
guys, marijuana might have been a bad idea. We may have jumped the shark, guys. I think we have a problem. Oh my gosh. I just like the last sentence of this article says, if current trends continue, expect the future to look a lot more red.
Which is
because
fine.
At the end of the day,
which is fine. Just out childbear the libs. Like that's all. That's
what we've been saying this for since the podcast was incepted. Out childbear the libs.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The sad part for them is they're only going to have children to try to sustain political advantages. Like that's what their goal is. It's so sad. It's so sad. I'm like, look, you go ahead and have kids, and we'll pray, and hopefully God, will, with the power of Christ and His Spirit and His Word and His people, we'll convert your kids to Christianity.
End of the destruction of the Department of Education, and all of these things.
Dear Lord, yes, please, Lord.
But like, I was no. So now go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I was gonna segue.
Oh, you're segueing into the next one?
Depending on if the next one is the same one that I'm thinking of. I was just going to tell a story, actually.
All right, tell your story.
Was a good segue.
I want to hear this. Oh, story time? I love story time.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about. I recently wrote an article on population and the replacement rate, right? Which is kind of exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
and,
essentially, yes.
I was going over it with Evie and Jameson, my two oldest, on the way home from co-op, and we were talking about it, and it's like, okay, well they track how big a country is going to be in the future by something called the replacement rate, like what is a country's replacement rate? And they're like, well, how many people does it take to make one baby? It's like, well, two. Yes, correct. Two people make one baby. How many parents does that one baby replace? I said one. I'm like, right. So if you want to replace both mom and dad, you need to have two babies. And that would be replacing the parents. I said, if you wanted to grow the family or grow the nation, how many do you have? They're like, well, three. I was like, correct. I said, but the Muslims are having three babies. So how many do Christian families need to have? They're like, four. I'm like, exactly. At least four. If you want to see,
that's how math works.
If you want to see the heart of a nation changed in one generation, you need to have 4 kids, and you need to not put them in bad public schools, and you need to raise them in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, and boom, we win down here.
Because we've already won in eternity.
yes.
Already won.
But instead, what we do is we mirror our Christian replacement rate with what the average replacement rate is, which is not enough. And then we send many of those kids to public schools, and we lose those kids. And then those kids are the liberals that don't have kids, and your line dies, and the Christian faith in your family dies, and it's just death. We would much prefer life in this scenario.
Yes, life.
I mean, if you don't, then we have a lot more to talk about. There's some
that's a different
we have
podcast,
things that we got to unpack. But the heart of every Christian should be bent towards life and not death spiraling.
Yes, and amen. I love that you're, gotta make sure that those kids, we have to get out ahead of Muhammad. That's important. We have to get some work to catch up there.
We're ready, dude. I mean, Jameson's already like, I don't have time to tell all those stories, but they're great stories. Jameson's acutely aware of the evils of Islam and is ready to go to war for the Holy Land. He's like, we're talking about the Hagia Sophia, and I was looking up pictures. I'm like, that kind of looks like a mosque now, and it's a Muslim temple now. And he's like, Dad, we got to go there. We got to make that a church again. And I'm like, yes, son, we do. But when you're older,
yes, son, we do, and yet may. Oh man,
aim small, miss small.
I just had this. Yeah. Anyway, I can't get off on Islam like right now. Like it's too hot. This podcast will go off the rails. Like I just don't understand why we have to have
Oh, dude, do you think we could have David Wood on our podcast?
Oh, I'm all about it. I just don't understand why we have to have these cultural pissing contests about how much you hate the Jews and whether you have the right amount of hatred for the Jews and how evil the Jews are, inside of like conservative Christian world right now. Like I don't understand why we have to have that conversation.
Because the Jews control everything, Justin.
The Jews are soft. They're soft.
Porn,
the violent
government.
The violent ones that we have to worry about.
Mike Johnson just lit a menorah.
Fortunately, they keep inbreeding, so they're kind of dumb. But like the violent ones,
Jews don't do that.
We have to, what?
Jews don't do that.
No, I'm saying the violent ones we have to worry about are the Islamists.
Yes.
The Nation of Islam, the Muslims. Those are the ones that we have to worry. It's not the Jews. Like, I know they probably have a space laser and they control the weather and they're like seeding the clouds or whatever else. But all the things they're doing, they have all the jewelry and the gold, and I get it.
But that's fine.
Super scary.
We can get umbrellas and raincoats and galoshes, but what we really need to be focused on
are the people that literally want to kill us now with like violence. It's probably more
actual physical death.
Right, like kind of the focus over here. Like that's where I'm focused. Like literally, like if you go to Israel, like the Jews don't even want to join the army. Like the real ones, like the real Jews, the ones that are like, I will follow all of the Talmud. Like those Jews, like they're like, we don't fight in the wars. We don't get involved in the army. Like that's not my concern. Those people aren't my concern. The concern I have are the ones that are like building communities around Sharia law and grabbing every young person they can and force feeding them the need to engage in the caliphate globally. Like that's the problem. That's the problem, because it's war. It's open season war on anyone with differing views. See how that's the problem.
Yeah, in the state of New Jersey right now, I don't know if you knew this. I haven't talked to you about this, but in the state of New Jersey right now, there is a bill that would consider allowing religious entities and I believe a couple other entities to bypass local zoning laws to acquire and expand land ownership, which is a very odd bill, I think, but not when you consider how many Muslims are north of South Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. What was it? Patterson just,
yes.
They're in some hot, is it Patterson? One of the towns up north is, they have a Muslim mayor, and they're in some hot water right now because they've been flying the Palestinian flag at their municipal building. They have one of those programs where you can, put in to, have a flag flown for a day or whatever. And people keep putting the Palestinian flag. And he's like, it's okay. We've also flown the Israeli flag. We're not going to stop this program. And I'm like, well, maybe you should censor it a little bit.
Maybe you should think about that one. But what does he care? Because all of his constituents are going to vote for the Palestinian flag.
Oh yeah, no. He was very comfortable. He had 0 ounce of nervousness whatsoever about the situation.
Yes, he was super comfortable as he began to stone a homosexual man. Like this is there's no limiting factor here, everybody. Like this is the insanity that we embrace, and that's why I'm like that's where the problem is. Anyway. In other news, that wasn't any of the stories we wanted to talk about, and I could go on to a whole other. I'm
what?
literally
Are you kidding me?
5 seconds.
Seriously?
What?
It was literally the last part of the briefing episode that we were talking about.
Oh, I didn't know that we were going to go into that one though. Like, I don't know. It's like a whole nother. Again,
I literally went there. We're here right now.
All right. Well, now that we're here, Jesse, go ahead. Tell them about the camps. Tell them about the camps.
I kind of zoned out as to the creation of the camps.
It was in New Jersey.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was not. In New Jersey. Dude, it was not. They don't make camps for Muslims in New Jersey.
Look, here's the whole third story. Can I just sum it up for you?
Maybe day camps.
It turns out
summer camps.
Not summer camps. These were refugee camps. But here's what it turns out to be. If you are Muslim in a Muslim area, you tend to radically believe Muslim things.
Yes.
Basically, it was looking at young people and women that were in refugee camps, or that were Muslims in refugee camps.
Widows with their children.
Right. Basically, they just deepened their ties into the radical views of Islam.
Yes.
Which is like...
Because Muslims are better at educating their children in their ideology than Christians are.
Yes. Yes. They're better at radicalizing their children for the Quran than Christians are for the love of the gospel. Yes. Yep.
There we go.
That's accurate.
There we go. We don't have to talk about it anymore. That's fine.
That's so accurate. And... oh gosh,
a concerning headline, but not a shocking headline.
No, and when you look at but this is why it's important to have families and to raise up children in the nurtural admonition of the Lord, because that's the battlefield.
4 of them, actually, 4 to be precise.
Right, that's the battlefield.
4+,
which is not a computer programming language.
That would be like C++.
I know, it's just been in my brain. And everything happening with the Somali community in Minneapolis is probably one of the most insane things I've ever read, because government corruption is so easy to hide, and then for some reason they take something that's like a $2 million budget line, and then they corruptly blow it up to $150 million. Like, what did you think was going to happen, dude? Like, That's not like just a clerical error. Like you could have just shot for 20 million and everybody would be like, oh no, that's probably right. They probably just didn't get the cost right. 120 million? Like that was just one of the programs. It's just like, oh my gosh. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I mean, they're still uncovering the depth of that scandal.
Well, that's because there were so many programs that were being manipulated and abused.
Yeah.
It's just really bad.
That's
And
wild.
then you're talking about the fact that there's like 87 counties in Minnesota, and 13 of them are what you would consider the metro counties, and they're the ones that have they're the only counties that Tim Walz won. Like it's such a huge issue that the urban centers are electing the mayor when literally the vast majority, right, of the state did not vote for the mayor, like as far as area wise, but because you have such a concentration of the population in these urban areas, and so many of them are receiving millions of dollars in handouts to their communities. Ergo, it's just everything about it looks so gross. Not to even get into the amount of money that's flowing back into Somalia, into terrorist
billions and billions of dollars.
It's so bad.
It's almost as much as we're giving China.
And nonetheless, have families, love your children, raise them up in the nurture admonition of the Lord, and then good. Praise the Lord.
40,
That's
50
all
years, we
do.
won't have to worry about any of this.
Yeah, seriously.
Except in Minneapolis. I mean, they're kind of...
Yeah, we can probably...
Dearborn, Michigan, they're kind of too far gone.
Probably get some drones.
I would leave there, actually, if you're a Christian. I would leave there, regroup, go back.
I mean, all you have to do is like continue to regroup around the area and slowly move in. Just slowly keep encroaching. It's pretty simple. You kind of choke it out, the whole situation.
I hope he chokes on it.
Third and final, well, I guess now it's our fourth and final story, because we ranted about the problem of Islam. It's a real problem.
It's a big
real
problem.
Gross. It's super bad. Our third and final story comes directly from America's Hat. Canada, guys, seriously. Enough's enough. Okay,
you guys gotta simmer down. Didn't you hear Trump won the election? We don't have to do this stuff anymore.
We've crossed a huge line. It's too much for me. Like, this one's bad. The CBC, not the CDC, that's in America, the CBC, the Canadian Broadcast Corporation, which is a arm of the BBC, the British Broadcast Corporation. All of it's run by the Crown. It's all a government-connected media organization. That's all it is. It's government news. They have a new documentary special out for you to watch in Canada.
Should I play a little bit of it?
You should absolutely play some of this disgusting.
I mean, we've already watched it once, so.
I've watched it twice, 3 times. It's so bad.
Oh, man.
Her name is Bunny, but when she's in drag, whoop-bam! Madame Bunny.
What's on the screen now is a boys dressed as girls dancing. Not appropriately. They're dressed like
oh my gosh, dude.
hoochie girls dancing. And they're not even if teenage boys.
Dude, there's no way. Maybe 11, maybe 12. Definitely not like a 14, 15, 16.
Awful.
It is so
And you don't believe me.
bad.
You're thinking, oh, it can't be that bad. Jesse, are you going to put the link in this? Are we going to link
Bro,
this?
I will link the description.
You're going to link this. You watch it yourselves, and then you tell me if it's not.
I'm adding it to my to-do
horrendous.
list right now. Don't forget this link. Because I do that all the time.
You will hear them talk. So anyway, the new documentary is Drag Kids. And you're thinking, oh, they're going to expose how drag culture is trying to pervert and destroy children. No. They're going to celebrate the LGBTQIA plus drag community with children. That's what they're going to do. They're going to parade small girls as boys and small boys as girls, apparently to dance provocatively across the screen, and then tell you how amazing and empowering it is that they look and sound disturbed.
It's so sad. It's so sad looking at these kids, seeing their inability to speak and function properly and have what few words they can say be the words of LGBTQ indoctrination and radicalization.
Well, yeah, it's because no child thinks, like, look, let's be honest, like, seriously, like, what do I have to cover with my sons? Like, guys, you just you gotta shower, you know, you gotta bathe. It's important, right? Like, stop beating each other. Like, these are the things I have to cover with my boys. You know what I didn't have to cover with my boys? Like, I didn't have to repeat dogma for them to have so they can just regurgitate it verbatim. But listening to these children, they have been so indoctrinated in this culture. The reason they sound that way is because the only things they know truly is how to speak this language. This is the language they speak. That's how indoctrinated these children are. They don't know reality. They have been told to let emotions be their God, do whatever they feel is right, and what they feel is right is what the adults have told them to feel. That is what you hear when these children talk. It is a great, great evil.
Millstones for the CBC.
Yeah, absolutely millstones for this. Like, that's a funny response. The Pocahontas, raccoon, and hummingbird. That's a funny response.
Yeah.
Just looking at you like, what is going on? It is so sad. When there's one point that the interviews are just asking these children, these obviously, and I mean, like, hearing them talk, and like the one boy can't even look at the camera. Jesse,
right.
like
yep.
the one,
yep,
yeah, he literally can't look, which is, by the way, a clear sign of shame and potential abuse. Okay, because they can't make direct eye contact with the object of which they're engaging with. It's a real problem,
dude.
I'm
sorry, real quick. I was scrolling on Facebook the other day, and there was an ad for autism treatment, and the individual on the ad was young, maybe teens, maybe younger, but probably teens, and they had that, like, I don't even know how to describe the haircut. Kind of like what's that Robin actress's name? The one that's in House of Cards, the one that was in Princess Bride. Robin.
Oh, Robin Wright.
Robin Wright, yeah, kind of like Robin Wright in House of Cards, like that short cropped swoosh, and it was like yellowy green, and I'm like, how dare you assume that all autists are transgender? like I mean, that I looked at the ad and I thought it was an LGBTQ ad, and I'm not trying to come down on autism or anything like that. Like, I'm not trying to transition to like a 8th topic here, but the fact that ad was targeted that way shows me that we are just manipulating the heck out of people that need our help and love and support, and not our indoctrination into wicked ideologies. And it makes me angry and upset.
Absolutely. What I was going to say was, when they were asking the one child, what do you think is the most important thing that people should take away from this celebration of child abuse? And that wasn't what the interviewer said, but that's what he was.
Yeah, I don't think they phrased it that way. But
that's what they should have said. And the child was like, just that everybody can see, like, you don't have to be an adult. You can be as old as, you know, like the kids in the documentary are, and be, you know, lesbian or trans or drag, and it's good. It's good for you. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this poor child.
I just don't understand why drag is the hobby. Like, why can't it be like baking or trains or drawing or reading or listening to music? Like, why is drag the hobby?
Because gross adults that sexualize children want these children to be sexualized. So drag is the hobby.
Yep, that's it.
And they're like, oh, when I do this, I get lots of attention. As every child always wants. It is a universal That's why when you have siblings, when you have children that are brother and sister or brother, when you have siblings in front of you, and as a parent, they will vie for your attention. And the more kids you have, the harder they will struggle for attention. Like, this is just truth. That's what these kids are doing. It's the most natural thing. And they have been exploited. Just exploited. So, hey, progressives, don't have kids, because this is horrible. Don't do this. This is bad. Get saved, come to Christ, read the Bible, and then have kids and raise them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. This stuff, you got to stop. Just,
Dude, can I just say something that I am finding really funny? Oh, dude.
Is it all the Franklin the Turtle memes?
Dude,
Because,
look,
yes.
Dr. Joseph Boot is doing the Turning Point America Fest 2025 thing. Heck yeah.
Hey, Dr. JB.
Yo, JB.
Hey, there's something from Canada that we can celebrate.
Yeah, we can. Who else is
There's
on
something
here?
we can celebrate from Canada.
I don't know. Doug Wilson? Heck yeah. All right, anyway, sorry. That's not really what I was going to talk about.
Reform coming in hot there. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. No, the thing that I think is absolutely hilarious that's going on Facebook right now is RFK either today or yesterday made a statement that infant formula is inferior to breast milk, and everyone's like coming at him about that, and you know they're calling for his impeachment, and you know they're doing all this stuff, and I'm like, he's not wrong. He's not shaming people that use formula, but he's just saying that breast milk is a better alternative than formula. Maybe we should bulk up our formula a bit. Like I'm like, wait, I thought we wanted moms to breastfeed.
Well, like that's so funny. Like in the 70s and 80s, the government literally funded La Leche League and lactation consultants to go into hospitals and gave them grants to help mothers breastfeed because they knew it was better than formula. They knew mothers needed help doing it.
It's so much better. And that's not to say that, you know, women don't struggle with breastfeeding, because it's obviously a struggle. But that doesn't mean that formula is the same in any way. Like, we know that it's different. We know that breast milk's better. We know that we encourage.
I've noticed it's different, as it comes from a container with a plastic lid that seals it shut, as opposed to a breast.
Right, microplastics
significantly
aside.
different.
Microplastics aside, you know,
this is obviously not the same thing. Just like a man trying to breastfeed,
oh my gosh,
isn't the same thing. It's not the same thing.
I will say that some of the most passionate human beings in the world are those breastfeeding advocates. Like, they're pretty cool human beings. A little strange, but they're really, really cool. I had to take at work, because I am a manager of a pediatric ER as well. I had to take a breastfeeding class. And I'm like, honestly, at this point, 6 kids, I probably could have taught it, but I had to go. And while it was extremely awkward as the only male in the class,
did your baby latch?
Well, I did decline. I did decline to hold the fake breast and show all of that. I did decline that.
Dude,
but she did say that
on your part.
She did say that that my baby holds were on point, though. I did get a public compliment for that. And I'm like, well, yeah, duh. I've been holding babies for a long time.
Yeah, look, lady, I've held a lot of babies. Okay, most of them were mine.
In terms of hours holding babies, I've definitely probably beat most of the people in the room.
Sad, but true.
But anyway.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was part of La Leche League from way back when it was concepted in New Jersey, and was a lactation consultant. And I got to tell you what, they are all about you bonding with your child and helping you to be able to breastfeed. And like Like, I don't hate it. Like, I'm like, yes, that's glorious. Like, that's exactly the way God made it to be.
Yeah.
Fight for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then there's just, they know a lot of stuff.
I'm like, why
It's
are we
really
coming
good.
at RFK for this? Like, this is wild. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, also, did you see how many pull-ups that bro can do in the airport? Like, watch out.
Yeah,
That
that's
bro can
that's
that bro-
wild.
He is jacked. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just can't wait for it. Well, at some point, someone is going to piss RFK off, and he's going to punch them, and I'm going to be here for it. I am so going to be here for it.
Well, anyone that comes at him in real life is probably decrepit. He'll probably kill them.
He might.
They'll likely die. I think if he popped me in the head, I probably would too.
He's very. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This has been another. I've got to go to bed. This is only going to get worse. I hope these stories have been encouraging to you. I hope you can engage with these stories. These are things that are literally happening all around you, and we must engage with them. And now you've had a little bit of time to engage with them and engage your mind and see what, like, hey, Christ is here for these things, and these things have real world implications for us to be interacting with God's word and these topics. Or else, you're going to have to just get ready to hear the call to prayer in all the cities in America. And that's awful. Let's not do that. So, no more drag kids. I mean, how about we just love the children to Christ? Let's do that instead.
Better alternative.
So bad. Well, this has been another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to it, dear Christian. And as we like to always call you to do at the end of each episode, we hope that you this day would seize the faith.